Hey, this is Anney.
And Samantha.
And welcome to Stuff I Never Told You, a production of iHeartRadio.
Pre-Sam, you did an episode about Wikipedia pages and how there was a huge campaign in doing more of the women, non-binary people who were making history who were not included in all of these things, right?
Yes, we did. It was, I think, Bridget's one of her final episodes before she left. And it was really, really interesting because there's just so much lack. Like the numbers were at the time, and I'm sure still are, very, very disheartening about how many women and non-binary folks had Wikipedia pages, which for a lot of people is the place you go to for like a quick, information, kind of a photograph of what's happened in our history. And even the pages that did have like women scientists, for example, would be like very short, like not much detail at all.
Right.
And like, yeah, the people behind updating that, a lot of them women having these kind of like code-a-thons or wikathons. What are they called? Wikipedia-thons, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I love. I do love. But yeah, it's not great.
Right. As in fact, I just saw a report, and I wanted to talk about this real quick because the person we are talking about for activists around the world today, this is how we're doing the activists around the world, has a Wikipedia page, which has been rare the more we do a deep dive in some of these amazing people who are doing such amazing work. And yeah, you're right. Absolutely. Wikipedia is one of the first things that pop up, as in fact on Google, it's almost like a side page. Yeah. I don't know what you call that. Someone tell me. Where it shows a piece of that bio from Wikipedia. And as in fact, this article from Washington Post, who credits Jess Wade as one of those who have been working on updating Wikipedia to include more women scientists since 2017. I think she's done over like 1,750 pages since then. But they say that about 2 billion people a month go to Wikipedia seeking information. That is a whole bunch.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the percentage of women, especially, so this one was specific to England. So yeah, just 19% of the English Wikipedia biographies are of women. So I'm assuming, someone tell me if I'm wrong, that they mean like English speaking or the English language. And this is according to Wiki Project Women in Red, which is actually a dedicated group addressing the gender gap for Wikipedia. So I found that fascinating. I feel like we should go ahead and put that at the top because I'm really glad who we're talking about is included, and she's so significantly young. So I'm excited to see how they continue to build up because even today, as I was looking at her page, it's not updated. There's a couple of more accolades that she's gotten since then that hasn't been updated on this page. I guess I could do that. I'm not really sure how to go about that. But I mean, that's the conversation that we should be having is that, yeah, this has been an ongoing thing. Thank God for people, I know you were a part of this, who have made this a huge project to make sure women are being talked about, that non-binary people are being seen, that the marginalized community are being put down as a part of history as it's being made. But it's still significantly less. So I found that interesting. I think we should come back to revisit it because those numbers are so low in 2022. So low.
Yup.
Yeah, so today, again, we are talking about those who were featured, who is, as in fact, her great aunt is too, thank God. But we are talking about Autumn Peltier. And just a side note, this month in the U.S. is Native American Heritage Month, and we wanted to celebrate the amazing activists. Of course, if you've been listening, if you've listened to this segment, you know we love and we absolutely find it important that we continue to talk about the work of the Indigenous and the First Nations as they have continued to do so. They've always done so, and so we want to make sure that no, we're not doing it just for this month, but it is this specific month, as we should say. And yes, and one of those amazing activists is 18-year-old Autumn Peltier. She has been an activist most of her life, since 8 years old, and has only gotten more vocal about the needs of her people and for the entire environment and the world. Peltier grew up and I'm so sorry if I'm butchering these names. I've tried to look them up. So if I get this wrong, let me know. that I believe is Wigwam First Nation in Ontario, Canada. And you can say that activism and protecting the land is in her blood. Yes, she has followed closely in the footsteps of her great aunt, Josephine Mondamin, who, yes, has a Wikipedia page you should also check out, who was an activist for clean water and was the past chief water protector for the Anishinaabe Nation and a grandmother of the First Nation, an elder and the founding member of the Water Protectors Movement.
Yeah, and as a side note, Mondamin started the Water Walk movement in 2003 when she became concerned over the polluting around to Lake Superior and around Lake Superior, rivers in that area. And she walked to symbolize regrowth and renewal of the earth. And she walked around 17,000 miles or 27,200 kilometers. When asked about how Peltier's aunt Mondamin encouraged her in her journey, she said, "My great auntie Josephine was the original water protector who walked the shores of all the Great Lakes. Before she passed, she told me that while people will point and deter you from the work, you have to just keep going." And that is exactly what she is doing.
Right. Peltier's understanding of nature and water has been a way of life for her. When addressing the issue of the importance of water, she says, quote, "In our culture, we look at water as a living being and we're taught to respect it as if it's a human. It's the lifeblood of Mother Earth. Water gives all life. We all live in water for 9 months. It's the only reason we're here. Without water, there's no life." And that's a sentiment that she's grown up with and lives by. When discovering that many people had gone without clean water, she sought to change that. At the age of 12, she boldly faced Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and challenged him to follow through on his past promises of protecting the water, saying, quote, "I'm very unhappy with the choices you made and broken promises to my people." And when he replied, he understood and made more promises, and she vowed to hold him accountable. And by the way, she was originally told to just give him the gift, which was a traditional water bundle, and not to say anything, but she couldn't hold back, and she refused to be quiet, which I love.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, she has gone beyond just Canada. She travels and addresses international organizations about, being accountable and protecting and giving access to drinkable clean water. Since confronting the Prime Minister, Peltier has spoken in front of the UN General Assembly, as well as speaking at the United Nations Secretary General's Climate Action Summit, World Economic Forum, and the Children's Climate Conference in Sweden. And with her platform, not only is she spreading information and seeking critical change to get access to clean water for everybody, but she has used it as well to encourage other youth to be a part of advocacy. When asked in an interview about being so young, she said, "You wouldn't generally think a kid or a young person would speak up about world issues or political issues. That's why it's so much more powerful, because that's how you know something is wrong."
And she's given advice for those young activists. My advice for youth is that anyone can do this work. Everyone has a voice. Everyone has a grandparent who survived so we could be here and continue to stand for our people, our waters, our lands, our rights. You must want it and actually do it. It's scary at first, but once you think about the planet and the waters, your heart brings you to another place where the ancestors' blood runs through your veins and all you know is survival. Today's youth are driving the largest movement of voices across so many platforms as everything is so accessible. The more we continue to speak, the closer we get to be heard. When we stand together as one, we are one voice and one nation. And by the way, yeah, she has continued to become a leader, obviously, as in fact, she was named after her great aunt's death, the new chief water commissioner for the Anishinaabe Nation, and she currently still holds that position. So she's leader of protecting the water in that area, which is an amazing position at 18 years old. And she got that when she was, I believe, 15. So she has been doing, I think that, from what I've seen, that nation proud and being a representation and a leader in that. And yeah, and with that, she's using her leadership and her voice. She's released a movie produced by the Indigenous content group Seeing Red Six Nations, The Water Walker, which was featured on HBO Canada, has received several awards. She's collaborated with organizations around Canada to continue to speak about the issue of access to clean water. And in 2023, a children's book titled Autumn Peltier, Water Warrior, is expected to be released. So doing some things.
Yes. Oh, we should add that to our book club. We've never done a children's book.
We need to add children's books. You are correct. We've done some YA novels, but not full-on children's books. We should.
Yeah. And of course, her work has brought many accolades and deserved recognition, such as the Sovereign Medal of Exceptional Volunteerism in March 2017, Ottawa Riverkeeper Award in 2018, BBC 100 Women, and nominated for the International Children's Peace Prize 3 times, Young Leader Award from the Ontario Municipal Social Services Association Award in 2019, and this year, Peltier was recognized by the Royal Roads University with a Doctor of Laws honoris causa for her commitment to creating a better future. And that's in a quote. And I hope I didn't butcher that. She's won so many awards that it got me all tongue-tied.
She really has.
Yeah.
And that's not the only one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these aren't at all her only accolades and honors. And we know she continues to do her amazing work. It's such amazing work. There will be many more to come. And we will look forward to maybe revisiting this in the future.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, as always, listeners, if you have anybody we should shout out in this segment, please let us know. You can email us at stuffmediamomstuff@iheartmedia.com. You can find us on Twitter at momstuffpodcast or on Instagram at Stuff I've Never Told You. Thanks, as always, to our super producer, Christina.
Oh, my God. Thank you. We're sorry.
She is the best. And thanks to you for listening. Stuff I've Never Told You is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, you can check out the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.